Welcome to CMCI Broadcast. My name is Mariah Curran, and I will be discussing the controversial issue of immunizations. This heated topic discusses whether parents should have the right to choose to get their children vaccinated or not. To get a feel of what others think, I have recently interviewed a doctor, a teacher, as well as a parent on their personal opinions on this topic. Two of them agree that vaccinations are necessary, while one of them strongly disagrees. If you are looking to find more information, you can go to my blog at mariahcurran1010.blogspot.com to investigate this debate further. The first interview I conducted was with Stacy Farman, the Infection Prevention Coordinator at the CU Warrenburg Health Center. She informed me on what immunizations are, as well as her own opinion on the matter. Dr. Farman, can you explain what immunizations do?
They build your immunity. They trick your immune system into thinking that you've been actually exposed to a real virus, and therefore you build protection, that immunity, and you won't get the disease.
Will a child's immune system be weaker by relying on a vaccine?
No. People always worry about, vaccines challenging or being overwhelming to a person or a child's immune system. But if you think about it, every day we're challenged by all kinds of different things in the environment. And, adding a vaccine is not necessarily going to overload their immune system. Now, let's say, some vaccines are better than other vaccines. So whether or not they get full protection or not is questionable. And some vaccines, why we have to give multiple vaccines is because each vaccine builds on the other to give them more and more protection. Yeah, it does not overwhelm their system.
Today, especially in Colorado, this issue has become very prevalent since now Colorado has the lowest rates of immunizations in kindergartners in the nation. I was astonished to find this out, and Dr. Farman explained to me why this may be.
Well, we have one of the lowest MMR rates, measles, mumps, and rubella. It only takes one person to not be immunized to expose, many people. California also had a very low rate of immunizations, particularly the measles vaccine. So it only takes just, one child to infect so many people. We even saw people who had immunizations, but for one reason or another never, got the adequate protection, and they still got measles. So, it affects the ones, again, that you cannot immunize, and it also affects, your child. Not everyone dies of the measles, but, a lot of people experience a lot of severe lifelong issues after having the measles. So, protecting yourself, protecting those people who can't take the vaccine, missing school, missing work because parents have to stay home to take care of that child, all those things can be prevented.
After hearing about the large issue being seen in kindergartners, I interviewed Miss Burdick, who has been an elementary school teacher for 26 years, to hear her point of view on immunizations. Do you have an opinion on vaccinations in children?
Yes, for sure. It's so important that kids get vaccinated within the public school system, absolutely. We deal with so many kids, it's so critical that they all have their vaccinations so as to keep disease, serious disease, from running rampant. Something like measles could really wipe out and cause a huge problem in our system, our school system.
How big of an impact would it be if some of those kids did not have their vaccines?
Well, here's the thing. It would be so important. School moves so quickly these days, and every day lost is really important on their education. If we had students that weren't vaccinated and serious illnesses, something like measles that might keep kids out for weeks or multiple weeks at a time, it would not only seriously affect their education, but then it continues to affect the education of kids around them, as well as pregnant moms that come in and volunteer in the classrooms.
Ms. Burdick not only commented on her professional perspective of immunizations as a teacher, but also told us her personal perspectives being a parent of 2 children. Have you ever been questionable about giving your children vaccinations?
Not even remotely. It never even occurred to me to not get the vaccinations necessary for my kids to keep them healthy. For me, it was just what I would do.
Although these are views from one parent, Bill Lloyd, a father of 2, has much different opinions on the topic.
I don't agree with mandatory vaccinations of children. I think they're bad. Studies have proven that vaccines can cause serious side effects and sometimes be fatal for children. And I don't want to put my children through that kind of risk.
Have you refused to get them vaccinated?
I refused to get them vaccinated, but they ended up having to get vaccinated in order to attend public school. It was mandated, and I think that's absolutely wrong. Luckily, they did not have any actual side effects from vaccinations, but a lot of people talk about vaccinations are harmful to their kids. Kids are more hyperactive, there's more ADD these days, and that to me, it points definitely to all the vaccinations we're doing causing these kinds of additional problems with children today. Vaccines have harmful ingredients in them too. I think we should be putting those kind of harmful ingredients like mercury into our children.
So instead of getting vaccines, what do you think should be done?
I think it should be left up to the parents. I mean, there are parents that have religious reasons for not having their children vaccinated, and there are clear medical studies that have been done that show that vaccines could be very harmful to kids. I think the government is overreaching because they are mandating that I have my children vaccinated, and I think healthcare, they should not be infringing on my right to provide healthcare the way I deem fit for my kids.
Thank you for tuning in and listening about the controversial issue of immunization rights. To find more information, please go to mariahcurran.blogspot.com. This is Mariah Curran signing off of CMCI Broadcast. Thank you so much for listening.